record. The fastest player in the history, 30-year history of the WNBA, the fastest player in the history of all of the WNBA's time to reach 600 assists. She did it in just 72 games, guys. Do you think Stephanie White congratulated her on breaking a record? Do you think, but before we get into it, do you think so?
Right from the beginning, this story has sparked widespread discussion across the basketball world, and as more details reportedly emerged, the situation only became even more intriguing. Welcome back to another exciting and fascinating video, because this developing story continues to raise new questions at every turn. So, without wasting any time, let's dive straight into what happened. At the highest level of the basketball business, the sports corporate landscape appears to have reached a significant turning point. Following what many are calling the most damaging CEO leak in WNBA history, the multi-billion-dollar basketball business now finds itself surrounded by growing uncertainty, widespread debate, and intense speculation. Behind the scenes, the ownership group of the Los Angeles Sparks reportedly carried out a carefully planned double acquisition strategy. Today, we're examining the documented evidence that has fueled this enormous conversation throughout the basketball community. For months, international media believed the West Coast organization was preparing one blockbuster move centered entirely on Caitlin Clark. However, a surprising reported development quickly shifted the conversation in an entirely different direction. Reports claim Clark introduced a private, non-negotiable condition before any agreement could move forward. According to those claims, the message was simple. Without Sophie signing as well, the reported $50 million deal would not move forward. And that reported condition is what set the stage for everything that followed. According to reports surrounding the situation, the Sparks front office responded quickly, reportedly completing a calculated double signing that secured both franchise stars during a carefully coordinated late-night operation. As that narrative gained momentum, the Indiana Fever found themselves at the center of widespread financial speculation following what many described as an extraordinary loss. At the same time, head coach Stephanie White became a major focus after her emotional television appearance attracted significant public attention. Meanwhile, league executives also faced growing public scrutiny as reports of the alleged private ultimatum continued to circulate. Based on the narrative surrounding these events, many believe the Fever's remaining credibility had reached a defining moment. To understand why this reported double departure is being described as such a major turning point in Caitlin Clark's career, it's important to first examine the locker room environment she was reportedly said to experience in Indiana. Throughout the season, the coaching staff faced accusations of relying on controversial bench rotations, questionable late-game isolation, and passive-aggressive messaging during press conferences. Critics argued those decisions slowed the commercial momentum surrounding one of basketball's biggest young stars. However, as the story continued to unfold, reports suggested Clark had already been thinking well beyond those challenges. Behind the scenes, Clark was reportedly building an exceptionally strong relationship with Sophie, the teammate who consistently stood beside her through every reported organizational setback and difficult moment. When the Sparks reportedly presented a massive $50 million offer, Clark's alleged response went far beyond simply accepting the proposal. According to the claims, she used the opportunity to make a firm and carefully calculated decision while speaking with the West Coast executives. From the very beginning, her reported position remained unmistakable. She was not willing to make the move unless Sophie came with her as well. If you're enjoying this coverage, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 91% of the people watching still haven't subscribed. It costs absolutely nothing, takes only a second, and your support truly helps the channel continue creating videos like this. So, have you subscribed yet? If you already have, thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate your continued support. Now, because that reported condition would soon shape everything that happened next, let's jump right back into the story.
Shelbourne letting it be known, this new ownership group is heavily involved in making changes that could have a lasting impact on the team. And this is the ownership group, the Walter Group. They came in and made the big splash for Luka Doncic. They're the ones, they're not bringing back LeBron James. They are ushering in the new faces of the league, and there's no bigger face in women's sports than Caitlin Clark. The Walter Group is looking to get Caitlin Clark locked in LA. They see the malpractice that's going on, and you better believe they're going to be scouring the market for a GM that may have a good relationship with Caitlin Clark or Caitlin Clark's representation, somewhere where they can tie this thing together. This ownership group is looking to make a move. Now, head coach Lynn Roberts spoke about this. She spoke about the important ways. She spoke about Cameron Brink, a bunch of stuff. We're going to get into the meeting.
According to the claims, Clark wanted to ensure Sophie could leave the difficult situation in the Midwest alongside her. Reports further alleged that she insisted Sophie receive top-tier contract terms as part of the arrangement. In that version of events, Clark was portrayed as staying several steps ahead, navigating every challenge the Fever's front office allegedly placed in her path by requiring the Sparks to complete a coordinated double acquisition designed to strengthen both the roster and the organization's future beyond the court. The Los Angeles Sparks ultimately moved forward with what many described as a major double acquisition, and that reported decision quickly became the center of attention. Once the alleged financial framework behind the dual agreement began circulating beyond closely guarded internal systems, growing uncertainty reportedly spread throughout the Indiana front office. Rather than presenting a standard player acquisition package, Los Angeles was said to have implemented a carefully structured business strategy intended to capitalize on the growing administrative tensions surrounding the Fever. According to those claims, the Sparks established a dual-pillar structure that worked alongside outside West Coast technology partnerships backed by substantial international venture capital investment while remaining within league financial guidelines. As news of the reported double signing continued to spread, executive boardrooms across the professional basketball world were pulled into widespread discussion and intense speculation. The reported scale of the move quickly became one of the biggest talking points on the business side of the sport, with many closely watching how its long-term impact could influence future negotiations, organizational strategies, and the league's evolving competitive landscape. However, the reported business reaction was only part of the story, as even broader consequences were said to emerge soon afterward.
It's just they play fast, and I think she helps them play faster. So we've got to be really aware of that. And that's why, our defense on, when did we play? Monday? In the half court wasn't bad. It was our live ball turnovers that just turned into fast break points in 3 seconds. You do that against Indiana, it's going to be 2 points in 2 seconds. So we've got to take care of the ball. And obviously your pickup point begins higher with Caitlin out there. She can shoot it once across the half court, and she will. So obviously she's another tremendous player to add to them. And the first time we played them, she played. Last time she didn't. So we've seen both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She'll shoot it as soon as she cross half court. It seemed like everybody around the league be recognizing the greatness of Caitlin Clark, except the damn coach that she has. And Lynn Roberts went on to laud about Kate Martin as well, who looks like she might be there long term with the Sparks. Look at this interaction post game between Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin. Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah. Caitlin like, look, man, don't even worry about it. You looking good in this purple and gold. I can't wait to join you. I can't wait to join you in LA, girl. I miss you, bestie. Caitlin is ready to get to LA for good. Caitlin is ready to get to LA permanently. Let's take a look at what Lynn Roberts had to say about Kate Money Martin.
Yeah, at this level. But when she is out there, what kind of advantages do you have? She's able to slide up that way.
Yeah, and I mean, desperate times seek desperate measures, right? So we are.
As the reported developments continued gaining momentum, Claims suggested that major network sponsors were urged to immediately pause local Midwest marketing investments after executives reportedly came to believe that two of the sport's biggest television attractions had carefully planned a long-term future away from Indiana. According to the narrative, the broader corporate response unfolded with remarkable precision as organizations once believed to be firmly in control now found themselves responding to the consequences of these unexpected developments. Beyond the reported sponsor concerns, the situation was also said to have created uncertainty surrounding ticket sales, promotional campaigns, and the franchise's overall public image, with some observers suggesting the ripple effects could reach well beyond the immediate headlines. However, the business fallout was only one part of the story. Public attention soon shifted toward head coach Stephanie White, whose leadership became the focus of intense online criticism following the reports. According to the narrative circulating across social media, her professional reputation faced significant challenges as fans continued debating the situation, with many questioning how much influence the coaching staff truly had over the direction of the team. What had once appeared to be a position of organizational control had, according to critics, become an increasingly difficult professional situation as the reported events unfolded. Reports and unverified internal claims further suggested that White was caught off guard after learning that both of the team's cornerstone players had reportedly agreed to contracts with a West Coast organization. Those same claims described the moment as emotionally overwhelming for the coaching staff, although they remain unconfirmed. Meanwhile, discussions among stakeholders reportedly intensified, with calls for greater accountability and multiple emergency leadership meetings said to be taking place as the organization evaluated its next steps and considered its future direction. Some accounts also indicated that front office officials were working behind closed doors to manage the fallout, balancing public messaging with internal concerns about stability, trust, and long-term planning. As speculation continued to spread, the entire situation was portrayed as a potential turning point that could reshape not only the team's immediate outlook, but also its broader standing within the league, setting the stage for what supporters and critics alike believed could come next.